Welcome to me live, talking to you about aren't you sick of cravings? Cravings could be for coffee, cravings could be for fizzy drinks, it could be for chocolate, it could be for crisps. Ultimately, all the things that are going to sabotage you. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes to join. Remember, if you're on Facebook, if you're on the LinkedIn and we're using StreamYard, you need to give the system permission to see your name. So you need to give it permission so I know who's coming on and commenting. So let me know, how's your day going? It's only Monday, right? But it's good. I like a new week. New week, fresh start, opportunity for anything that didn't go so well last week, anything that did go well to build on it. So I'm just going to pop the title in here and give you all a second to come and join me as we discuss being sick of cravings and what you can do about it, more importantly. So let's get ready to go. So I was actually at the gym this morning. So I got my morning workout in, and it's one of those ones where I was like, shall I go? Shall I go? And I was like, I'm going to go and get my workout in. I've got some energy to burn. And hey, running shoes. And what happened is I was trying to get to the gym, and then there was this big, massive lorry offloading the work they're doing on the bridge. So I had to walk all the way back, all the way around. Then the escalator is still broken, so I had to walk again all the way around to get there. And then the humidity was next level in the gym. They're cutting back on the aircon, so they're only putting on before group fitness classes. So I had so many obstacles to get to the gym, and it just made me think about how people think, oh, it's easy for you. You've got the habit of going to the gym, but it's not easy. There's so many obstacles that I face to get in there, so I completely understand. But you know you're going to feel better afterwards. Like you might feel a bit of time pressure. I know I certainly do. But yeah, you always feel better afterwards, and I'd rather invest that time in my health than not do it. All right, let's get into it. Remember, if you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. So aren't you sick of cravings? So I'm talking about when you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to be good, and you might not outwardly admit this, but you get that feeling in your body, like you get a bit restless. And you're like, oh, can't stop thinking about that bit of chocolate, a fancy bit of chocolate. And you might even find yourself looking in your cupboards, looking in your kitchen drawers and saying, never got any chocolate. Maybe you've got some cooking chocolate. You might find yourself just having that. Or maybe it's to the point that even though you've got to go to the shops and get it, you're going to go and get that thing, that chocolate, the crisps. And I know personally for me, if there's crisps in the house, I've got to eat them. Like I've got to have them, and they're just like calling my name, going, Julie, eat me. And you can get a bit restless, right? Sometimes you're trying to eat the fruit, you're trying to be good, have the veg, but it's not having the impact of what, say, the crisps or the chocolate would have. And it's the same if you're addicted to coffee, and that warm tea, that herbal tea, just isn't giving you the same hit as a coffee. And it might be fizzy drinks for you. I know lots of clients who are addicted to fizzy drinks, and they say, oh, it's not so much the taste, it's just the fizz. Is the fizz, oh, I don't like water. And I find it really interesting because I know when do fizzy drinks come into play? Maybe when I was about 10 or 12. And before that, we didn't really have fizzy drinks. They weren't a thing. So we didn't actually grow up with them. But we've told ourselves that we need to have these fizzy drinks now because we just don't enjoy plain water. And it's that whole thing about, again, the cravings and weaning yourself off this stuff. I know if I'm out at the weekend, my drink's vodka and Coke, and we have a couple of vodka and Cokes, that actually the aftermath of that is I'm going to be craving that Coke. And I always have full sugar because that way that you can't drink gallons and gallons of it. If I say to a client, oh, have full sugar, they're like, what? But I can't drink as much. I'm like, exactly. You're not supposed to drink gallons and gallons of diet stuff. I mean, it's called diet for a start. I'm not being funny, but how many people who have Diet Coke are actually following a diet, or they're having it with a big McDonald's burger? Do you know, it's just like these things are sold to you as a way of solutionizing what you're trying to achieve with weight loss to make you feel better, but actually they're adding to it. They're adding to the problem. But the truth is we're addicted to them and we crave them. So you might be like, I'm trying to cut back on my calories, be good during the week, and then at the weekend it all goes to pot. Or it might even be like, God, I can't even be good at the week. I'm just craving this. I've got to go and get the chocolate bar. I've got to go and get the crisps. Oh, I really need the fizzy juice. And the reason for these cravings can be boredom, stress, feeling fed up, a lot of emotional reasons why, but also because your body, as I said, has got used to those things. So it's going, where's that sugar hit? Give me that sugar hit. You know, Chris, I've got a great balance of fats, sugars, and salts. So the body's been trained to look for those things and want those things. And a lot of the time when people are trying to lose weight, they cut down on calories. And you'll have heard about calorie deficit. And absolutely, to lose weight, you need to be in calorie deficit. However, if your metabolism is out of whack and you've not been eating food, you actually need to eat more food to reverse your metabolism, to help your metabolism, and then the weight loss will come, and then you can look at reducing calories. So it's a bit of a myth around eat less, lose weight, and I'm sure you're thinking, yeah, it's not worked for me, and you get a bit frustrated around that, and you crave more and more of the foods. But actually, the truth is, you've got to fuel your body in order to lose the weight. And in order to do that, as I've just already spoke about eating more than maybe you are, if you're one of these crazy 800, 1200 calorie days, oh, then you're going to be getting more and more cravings and you're going to be struggling to stick to it. So if you're on a crazy cabbage soup diet, if you're on crazy cutting calories, then the chances are the cravings are going to be extreme. So what can we do about it? One, ditch all those crazy fad diets, ditch all these supplements of a liquid shakes, drinking your blooming food instead of eating it. Drives me nuts. There's some big companies out there. Herbalife being one of them, Simfast and bloody Arborn dropped into my DMs again last night. Any company that sells you liquid instead of using your teeth, no, just no. Okay, those things are not sustainable. They're not long term, and they tried to sell. I think an Arbonne products maybe about $3.50 now a month or something for their whole package, and it's just like, wow, you do not need to spend a fortune on these fancy products in order to lose weight. So how are we going to help you? How am I going to share? How am I going to help you in terms of? I can't even speak now. How am I going to share with you how to overcome the cravings? Well, I'm going to give you 3 tips around it and a bonus. So number one is breakfast. If you're not having breakfast, then you're going to hit the 11 p.m. hunger. The cravings are going to kick in. You're going to get to that point where you're going to be starving, and then you're going, oh, it's too early for lunch, so I'm just going to have a coffee to stave off the craving. I'm just going to have a biscuit to stave off the hunger. So by doing that, you're actually living the highs and lows and trying to curb your hunger cues. Whereas if you eat breakfast, then you'll not get that 11 p.m. craving for the coffee, the biscuits. It may even be, the savory snack, whatever it is you normally have at that 3 a.m., then it'll help stave that off. Did I say 3 p.m.? You get cravings at 3 p.m.? What? 11 p.m.? Yeah, I'm perimenopause, so my hormones are like out of whack at the moment. So that means like I come out with all sorts of stuff, so bear with me. All right, let's reverse it back. So yes, if you have breakfast, then it means it's going to help you curb the 11 a.m. cravings. That's what I was trying to say. So I mentioned eggs, and you don't have to have it boiled. You can have it scrambled. You can have it poached. You can even have it fried. It's about having food that you're going to actually eat and enjoy, and that's the key. And you might be thinking, oh, Julie, I'm not hungry at that time in the morning. Well, yes, that's maybe because you're a coffee drinker, right? So you're not actually letting your body's hunger cues kick in. And if you're like, I'm not hungry at that time, well, it's maybe because you're getting up so late that you're only giving yourself, half an hour to get ready for work, go and sign on or head out the door. So start, if you've not had breakfast for years and years, start small with 1 egg. If you are somebody who has breakfast but tends to be a carby cereal breakfast, then look at increasing 2 to 3 eggs in the morning. Okay, so that is the morning. So breakfast is going to curb your cravings at 11 a.m. Now, lunchtime, as we're at now, you want to be having some protein at lunch. Chicken, fish, tofu. And when I say chicken, I'm not talking like a kind of meal deal sandwich that's got like maybe little bits of chicken. I remember many years ago, I was like, went to Greg's to test the Greg's chicken baguette. It was like the smallest slivers and this massive bread. It was like just bread. I was like, you just basically sold me a bread roll. But yeah, so think about getting proper amount. So if you think about a kind of hand-sized portion of protein for lunch, think about the palm of your hand, getting that in. And that's going to fuel you. So think about fish, think about chicken breast, getting, like I say, tofu. If you're struggling with what there are in terms of sources of protein, just send me a DM with protein and I'll send you my guide on all the different sources of protein. So yeah, really think about having protein for lunch because soup isn't going to cut it. I was actually out for lunch with another fitness instructor last week and she was going to have the soup and I was like, what about your protein? She's like, what? So she ended up upgrading to the plant-based burger. So yeah, and then she ended up lifting more weights in her body pump class. So yeah, totally. You need to get protein in your lunch too. Now, protein in your lunch is going to give you energy throughout the afternoon, but it's also going to prevent the 3 p.m. cravings. So the 3 p.m. sweet tooth, typically your energy is a bit low after lunch, so you might be craving get a coffee, a bit of cake with that, some biscuits, or it could be the Haribo, but that can hit or just a massive energy slump, so you feel like you need to have something to pick you up to get you through that last bit of the day. So protein for lunch will help you with those cravings at 3 p.m. Now, let's talk about hydration. You know I'm a fan. I've always got a glass of water on the go. This is going to help reduce the intensity and frequency of your cravings. By staying hydrated, the body knows, actually, am I hungry or am I not hungry? Is it boredom or is it actually because I need to have some water? So staying hydrated and just sipping it throughout the day is really going to help with the hunger, the intensity, the cravings. And I'm not saying, because it does bug me, people are like, gulp the water back, gulp it, drink it. I'm not saying to fill yourself full of water so that you switch off your hunger because you're so bloated by having too much water. What I'm saying is just sipping water throughout the day. Go by the colour of your wee. If it's Chardonnay wine colour, then you're on point with your hydration. If it's darker than that, then you need to be getting a bit more in. So staying hydrated throughout the day won't only just help your energy, but it'll help reduce the cravings and the intensity of them too. All right, are we ready for the bonus tip? I feel like we need a bit of drum roll. Bonus tip. There we go. Bonus tip is around if those cravings are so strong that you really need to go and have those things. So, for example, people who are coming off the coffee often get a bit of a headache, or you might just have that I need the chocolate, I need the crunch of the crisp, the fruit, the veg isn't cutting it. I had my protein lunch, but I still need it. It might be hormonal, it might be the fact that your body's just coming off that sugar high. So, to beat the craving when you're like, I need it, then think about with chocolate, 70% plus dark chocolate, not the ones with the bits in it because it doesn't make you eat more. So 70% plus dark chocolate, just a couple of squares will help you beat the chocolate craving. That'll be enough for you. You won't be able to eat more than that because it's not got all the milk and fats in it that the milk chocolate has, so you'll not overindulge. So that's the one for if you're a chocolate person. If you're somebody who is a crisp addict like myself, then you want to be having the pop chips, like the alternative. So the pop chips are the more common ones, but don't buy the big share bag, buy a single serve. Now, I know you might go in and look at the price of single serve compared to the grab bag, and you're like, I'm being ripped off here. This is about your future health. So just buy that single serve. It will give you the hit without overindulging in that big, huge share bag. And if you're like, oh, I'm not a fan of the pop chips, I want some like real crisps, check the back of the ingredients. Never choose ones that have got MSG or flavor enhancer in them because it's going to make you eat more and more. So that's your savory, that's your sweet. Coffee, then again, go for a dark coffee like an espresso, something that's not got like loads of milk and syrups in it. Now you might be saying, oh, but it's 0 calories syrup. The syrups have got the sweeteners in them that are going to make you want to crave more. So they're there for a reason. They make you want to drink more. So if you can have an espresso, if the espresso is a bit too strong, then do look at adding a bit of milk, but try and cut out any fancy syrups that are making that super sweet. Okay, so there we are. So think about small single serve crisps, dark chocolate, and espresso if you're a coffee person, or a little bit of milk if you need to. And then the final one that I was going to give you was around a fizzy drink. So if you are craving the fizzy drinks, I know so many people are addicted to these so-called diet drinks, sugar low or whatever they want to call them. Have a small can. So you get like this kind of small, slim, skinny can of Coke, for example, and it's normally like 70p or £1.20, depending where you buy it. Buy a small can of full sugar. Now, before you say, Julie, I don't like full sugar, it's too sweet. Exactly. You're not supposed to be able to drink gallons and gallons of this diet stuff. And you see it. Everybody's addicted to it. And again, you might look at the price point. As much as we've got sugar tax is broken. The sugar tax means it's cheaper to buy in volumes than it is to buy a small size. So you might, again, look at the price and go, what, £1.20 a pound for that? I can go and buy a giant bottle for like £2.85. This is about your health, so price out the way because you're not going to be on this long term. So if you do need to hit the fizzy drink, go for the full sugar, the small size, and that'll give you the hit to get you through the craving. But again, that's only if you need to. And like I say, if you still got those cravings, just look back, review, what did I have for breakfast? What did I have for lunch? What's my emotions? Are they fleeting, passing? Can I sit for 5, 10 minutes? Just let them pass over, get over that initial craving. And after a week of having the protein for breakfast, lunch, keeping yourself hydrated, using the bonus hack if the cravings are really strong, by doing those things after a week, the cravings will reduce. And after 2 weeks, you'll not have cravings at all. Now, if you do go back to having those things, as I mentioned, if I go out on a weekend and have a few vodka and cokes, you'll find the cravings come back in. Then go back to the bonus tip to wean yourself off those things again. But you deserve not to be held in the grips of these cravings, and they are keeping you from living the healthy lifestyle you want. They are keeping you from getting the weight loss results you want and feeling healthier and feeling good about yourself. So that's my tips on how to overcome the cravings. Let me know how you get on. Coach Julie here. All things nutrition, fitness, life coaching too. So any other tips around cravings, any other help you need around nutrition, food, shout out to me, pop in the DMs, protein if you want that guide on all the different sources of protein, and I will get that across to you. Have a good day. Let's beat the cravings.